Okay. Assalamu alaikum. So today is our second lab, and in this lab we will just have a look to the previous lectures and get to know some gist about the previous lecture that will be more interactive, that will make us more interactive to let us understand the upcoming topics. Okay, so we have already come to know about the Arduino boards, okay, and the most famous MCU, I mean microcontroller unit, is the Arduino board, and we have already get touch with Arduino board and its specifications, the power supply of it, the input and output, memory and communication, okay. Then what? Arduino programming, pin details, connecting boards and chips. So you'll get to know about the different type of boards over there. I mean the single board with the different specifications. Let's say it's a very common Arduino board, but did you notice that is there any 80 mega 3280P over there? Is there any 80 mega 3280P over there? 8 mega 328P, the black IC, the most phenomenon chip, this one. Could you please find the 80 mega 328P over there? No. So there is no MCU, okay. So this is the Arduino board without the controlling unit. So this is the Arduino board with the controlling unit, okay. So this is the controlling unit where it operates 8 bit at a time with a 16 megahertz, 32 KB flash, 1 KB EEPROM, and a 2 kilobyte SRAM. Okay, so you have already knew about. You have already get all the informations in the previous lectures. Just to let you know the upcoming pin modules, the edge connector, and the other features in this class. Okay. These Arduino boards has been prominent with different type of elements. Like this one is a USB power 5 volt, where it comes what? It comes from any connector from your laptop or PC. Okay, so you have to upload the sketch with this USB port, and then if you want to connect it with an adapter or any kind of charger, then you have a AC current. You have to be connected with the AC current, 2 pins or 3 pins, whatever it has. But at the output end, you need a 3 mm jack, because there is a hole over there to make a compact relation with the 3 mm jack, and that power jack will supply to this Arduino board from 7 to 12. Basically it provides 5 volt actually from the supply, and these are the ports which are not basically included in analog side or in digital side, but they are the part of the power section. Like there is a in pin, V in pin, okay. So there's a 9 volt battery, you can connect over the V in pin. Why you have to connect the V in pin to the 9 volt battery? What's the problem if you connect the 9 volt battery with the 5 volt pin? So I have a source of a 9 volt. I am going to connect the 9 volt battery with the V in. So there will be two portions, I mean two wires. The positive wire will come to get into this V in pin, and the negative portion is going to have the input of ground, okay. Then the circuit will be closed, okay. So why it's not possible? I mean, is it possible if you connect the positive wire to this 5 volt, the 9 volt to the 5 volt? It's not possible. It's possible, but the fact is the 5 volt port consumes 5 volt, okay. It operates in 5 volt. So 4 volt, 5 volt, 5.5 volt, that will be okay. But when you are going to connect the 9 volt to the 5 volt port, then the Arduino most probably it will loses its opportunity or loses its power, and you can't operate the other trucks with the 5 volt port. So V in port can be operated with a long range from 5 volt to 20, 18, 16, 15, okay. So that's the fact. So you have to connect the 9-volt battery with the long range, where you have a range of what? 7 to 15, 16, 17, 18 volt. So if you have a supply of 12 volt, you may also connect this with this V-in pin. Okay. So one part is the V-in and the second part is the ground, because this V-in pin, this source 9 volt will connect with the Arduino 9 volt, and this ground is the negative wire. So that negative wire basically is connected to this ground. So whenever you are going to connect with the 9 volt and the ground, basically you are completing a circuit. And if you don't connect the ground with the Arduino, then what will happen? Then it will be operates like an open circuit. So can you specify the tasks or manipulate the sensors that has been connected with the Arduino whenever it becomes an open circuit? Is it possible? Can you operate the task with the Arduino when the circuit is an open circuit? Can you operate the tasks of Arduino when the circuit is an open circuit?
When 9 volt is connected to Arduino.
Whenever the circuit is open, is there anything possible with the circuit?
No.
So how can you operate any kind of task with the Arduino, if there is sensor 1 is connected, sensor 2 is connected, sensor 3 is connected, the circuit is open, how can you operate the other task?
Yes.
So it's not possible to connect to the connected task actually, because the circuit is open. When the ground is connected, then the circuit is closed, then these sensors will going to operate, or the output or the actuator that I have been discussed to the previous class. So then it's possible to the output end and the input end to make the process very well, but it's quite impossible when the circuit is open. Okay. So there's the edge connector, because there's 0 to 13, I mean 14 digital pins over there, and 6 PWM pin. Okay. Every PWM pin what? Create outputs with 5 volt and has a very minimum range of ampere, which is 40 milliampere. I mean 0.004 ampere, 0.004 ampere. Okay. 0.04 ampere. There's an LED. Whenever you connect the Arduino with the computer or with the battery, then there is a blink of a green LED. It seems that the Arduino is connected with the source. Okay. I mean with the power. So that's the basic. There is also reset button. It has a very significant role. Like you have uploaded the last code. Till if you don't upload the next code, then what will happen? Then the last code will operate as the previous or the next. I mean, so they save the last code as a operating code, and if you don't upload any further code or any kind of code, then what will happen? Then the last code will be the ultimate operating code of that Arduino. So whenever you again upload any different code, then the last code will be erased automatically. Okay. So that's how it operates. So the reset button can be used as an erase button. Like if you press the reset button, then the system that has been saved previous will be delayed automatically. Okay. So that means this component will never going to save that value. So you can work on it with the software. I mean, plug in with the computer or the laptop. Then what? Then upload any blank code or next code. Then it will erase automatically the previous code. But you can work on it in manual way. How? You have to just press the red button. Then the previous code will be removed automatically. So that's how it works actually. And you have already to know about its weight, input output pin, and I have already talked about the previous, talked about the specifications of it. So power supply can be anything. It can be a USB port. It can be what? Any battery, any source, any 5 volt battery, and anything can be any power bank. Okay. So there are different type of input and output. Now I am going to talk about the input and output. See, TX RX pin. These are the serial communication pin. Like you are connecting with a Bluetooth. So Bluetooth is going to send something to the Arduino. Arduino will what? Will receive that value. Like I am saying something to you, your ear, I mean your ear will capture the sound and process to the brain. So that brain is the microcontroller. My sound, I mean I am the Bluetooth, I am sending the sound right now. Okay. So how we are going to receive it? So am I TX or RX? I mean am I transmitter or receiver? So I am the transmitters and you are the receiver. So in short you can say it's a TX and RX. So TX is the pin 1 and RX pin 0. So there is a small slide of handwritten over there like TX and RX to the Arduino board. Okay. If you look very deeply in here, see. So TX means is sending and RX means is receiving. Okay. Then basically their serial pin number. Okay, so basically their serial pin number, and there are different type of serial. These are what? TTL serial. Okay, these are called the TTL serial data, and USB to TTL serial chip equivalent to that pin numbers. So pin 2 and pin 3, the external interrupts. So there are different kinds of interrupts. Like external pins can be connected to activate an interrupt over a low value, I mean value in chance. So if you want to interrupt the Arduino, you can use these stuffs, okay, pin 2 and 3. Okay, then I have talked about the special pins like pulse width modulation pin, PWM pin, and this pin number is pin 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 11. So what's the basic benefits with these pins? I've already talked about the cycles number, the duty cycle. Okay, so you have a range of what? 0 to 255. Okay. So these cycles indicates the range of the operations with the help of the converter. Okay. So these operations will going to help you whenever you are going to use any driver. So to operate that particular driver, it can be a motor. It can be motor, then it can be what? Any intensity of bulb, it can be any different things. So to operate that particular genre, you have to work with this 8-bit PWM pin. Why 8-bit? Because your MCU can operate 8-bit at a time. We have already seen about that this MCU, I mean 80 mega 328P can operate on what? 8-bit PWM pin. So that bit basically does define the cycle or the duty cycle of the range to that particular converter. I mean at a particular time 8 bits can be operated in the basis of 0 to 55 range. Okay, basically those are the values of the analog value. Okay, and then you have to declare that values with the code analog write. Just look deeply, analog write. So there's two different things in memory, one is read and one is write. If you want to get anything as an input like the sensor does, they are what? Read. And if you want to get any output like motor or actuator, they are write. So in write the W is in caps lock, I mean capital, but in analog these are small letter of A. So whenever we are going to start the coding sections, the basic coding, then I will discuss about why these are caps lock and I mean why these are in small letter and why these are in caps letter. Okay, there's some different pin like MOSI, MISO, CSK, SS. So these are the SPI combination pin. In broadly you can say serial port communication pin. So this SPI communication offered you with different type of language to work on significant role. If you look at the pin number 13 LED, what it has? So the digital pin number 13 is a built-in pin of Arduino. Like you say, if you want to connect an LED with the Arduino, you don't need that because you have already a pin, a very small amount of, I mean size and shape, and it is stuck with the Arduino assembly soldering with the Arduino, and whenever you are going to blink that Arduino with the particular code, as same as the external LED. So if you want to work with the different type of 2 and 3 LEDs, then it's okay, fine. But if you want to work on one LED, but you don't have right now, you don't need to worry about that, because there's a built-in LED what has been connected with the Arduino, and that pin number is 13. So if you want to code, write the codes, the proper sketch, so you have to declare that pin number. You are going to operate a motor, right? That motor is connected with pin number 7. So are you going to declare in code to make the high the value of pin number 8 or something, or pin number 9? Are you going to do that? No, because you have connected your pin, your motor with the Arduino in the specific pin number 7. So you have to declare that I am going to work with this pin number 7, so make it high. So if it gets high, then I will get the value, and that value will put the extra voltage, put an extra push to that motor to perform the operations. Okay, fine. So there's another pin number in I2C. I have talked about that, SDA and SCL. This I2C is a very crucial role in our daily life. That's a basic example of LCD display. So in LCD display, previously just a few years ago, you have to connect with 8, 10, 12 pins with the Arduino. So if you connect with the Arduino Uno, your pins will be done. Like there's no space or no gaps if you're going to connect an LED just with an Arduino. So you can do more tests with that. Like you say you have an LED, you have a motor, and you have a LCD display. So I think that you can't operate smoothly with the Arduino. Why? Because your pin numbers are limited. So just all the pins will be filled up with the LCD display, because it needs more wire. So to cut off that wire, to make it or wrap it in a very small and compact way, this I2C, it's I2C or I2C protocol is the smartest protocol that have been ever seen in the TWI communication. Why? Because it lessens the amount of wire to 8 to 12 wires. It just come to 2 wires. One is SDA and other is the SCL. So you have to connect to pin number 4 and pin number 5, and you have to declare it, then your LED will be on. Sorry, LCD display will be on. Okay. And to turn on the LCD display, you just need 2 wire. What? Apart from the SCL and SDA. A basic 2 wires that is very common things to any kind of components, any kind of sensors. SCL and SDA is the common wire to communicate with the Arduino with the TWI communication. What's the 2 basic wires that you have need? Obviously, at most to that particular compound. If you want to connect the Arduino battery, you will need the 2 wires. If you want to connect any sensors with the Arduino, you need 2 basic wires. So what's the 2 basic wires with the LED? One is what? Apart from the SCL and SDA. So you need total 4 wires. One is SCL and one is SDA. What's the other 2 wires? That is
connected 2 wires.
One is voltage, VCC, 5 volt. Another one is ground. Seriously, to connect with sensor, to power up the sensor, don't you think that it needs any power?
Yes.
So power is equal to what? V into I. So the basic, to operate that basic voltage and current, you need what? A wire to connect with the voltage. And the basic wire to complete the circuit is what? G and D, ground. So from 12 to how many wires you are going to connect in the operation? 4 wires. So that's the revolution in this TWI communication. And there's a reference voltage is just for analog input and output. That's very less significance used in microprocessor. To perform any critical task regarding reference, then you need this code or these lines. Okay. And reset pin is what? That the reset pin, RST pin has been used for the particular task. So memory and communication, I have already talked about that. SPI communication, I2C, you have to specify the library, because whenever you are connecting the Arduino with the sensor or the LED, that Arduino must need to know that I have the library. Okay, so the advantage of library is something like that. You are performing with an LED. So LED has different type of codes. So to operate that particular codes, you have to know that these codes or these lines are from this library. So you have to declare that library, and that library must need to be set up to your coding sector, I mean to the editor actually. And you are performing with what? To different types of Arduino Nano. So Arduino Nano has its different library. So every time you have to work on IDE, it has its own different library. So yeah, if you're lucky, then yeah, the default Arduino obviously has on it. Like very simple, if I'm going to give an example, every time your software has been updated, like 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, isn't it something? So as the same way like here, the software you need to update. So after giving the update, I mean the Arduino portion, the IDE, you will find something that this different library has been included by default. But if there is no any library like serial communication, Fruit, okay, there's different type of Arduino. Right now I don't know. If you want to use any sonar, so it has its own library. So every sensor's display, different type of board, it has its own library. So you have to set it manually. You can set it by any zip file, like copy or paste or adding something. That's a portion of library. I will definitely show it when I just share my screen video through over the online class. Okay. So to conduct the programming, I will definitely not going to specify this portion right now, because I will make sure about that. I will definitely show it to the online class to make very understandable and to get very precisely to get to know the details about programming, that will make codes or write down the codes in your own laptop. Okay. So I will make an online session. I will conduct an online session. You will definitely handle it through the through your home, through your laptop, by sitting at your home. So if you don't have a laptop, you have to find one. Without that, you can't operate the task. Okay. So these are the pins, PWM pin. This is the most, I mean, animated and illustrated Arduino board. Battery jack, power jack, you can say it bear jack, reset switch, RxTX LED. So these are the LED. You see, this LED is connected to the 13 number pin by internally. Okay. So TX pin indicates that whether these pins are connected or not. If you are sending in data or receiving data, so these pins will be blinking. Okay. And ground inputs, power inputs, 3.3 volt power, and 5 volt power. Analog input pins. So digital pins, but the PWM pin, I mean the analog version pin, has been connected over there. How do you come to know these pins are the PWM pin or the special pin? Let's see, there is a small of wave over there, okay, like AC current. So these waves are basically conducting the duty cycles facts. That's why they have a sign like this. So there is no difference over there. Okay, so these are the sine wave actually. Okay. And these are the SPI, SCK, MISO, MOSI, SS, okay, UART, UART value, and it's a very prominent that this chipset, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 28, what is PC5, ultimately it indicates the A5. So see, this indicates the A5, I mean SCL, A4 and SDA. So it has been set over there like 28. If I'm going to switch over there, so this pin indicates the ultimately values of the Arduino. So you have to rotate it in 180 degree, then this chipset will come over there. So 28 will come over there, so you will get this A5. Okay, so this A5. So this is the pin of SCA and this is the SDA. So A4. So if you want to rotate it in 140 degree, you'll get the SDA over there. I mean 27 27 will be over there. You have 27 A4 analog, 27 A4 analog, SDA, ADC, PC4. So this is the pins of the C block. If you want to rotate that, you will get to know about the details of it. So that's it for today. We will discuss about the coding, I mean the IDE sections, and at the last term or the last of the semester, we will submit a project based on the Arduino, and definitely it must need to be an innovative one. Okay, so that's all for today. If you have any question, you can ask me. So most of the programs have been found, you will get easily through the internet, and the basic projects and sensors will be found on internet. So you have to ask to the Google that whether this program is easily accessible or not. But I definitely I won't suggest you to get through this process, but I would like to suggest you to know the basics of C++, and that will be my main motto to the next class. In online session, I will definitely try to get the gist of the C++ along with the Arduino IDE, from where you will write down the codes. So you were basically established the base of the Arduino language whenever you are going to code over there. So this Arduino language is highly connected with the C++ because Arduino is the interface of C++. Okay, so if you know the C or C++, you will definitely get to know about the details of Arduino, and that will be easier to know. And it's very common, if you know any kind of language, then that language will boost you up to know or to get familiar with the other language. Okay, so I will recommend you to show some basic video of C or C++, if else condition, the work of loop, for, while, do, while, okay, and the importance of integer, global function, how the function work. These are the basic things. You may watch some 1 or 2 hour video on internet, on YouTube, then you will get to know the basics of it. And after watching that video, then the Arduino video of Fuad sir's class will be get more easier for your mind and to code down actually. Okay, so yeah, there is a shortcut process over there, but you won't learn anything, and that will be a very suicidal decision for you. So I will recommend you to watch some videos, read some books. If you don't have any time to read any books, then you may go to the internet, the YouTube, to show some to watch some video and get to know the gist of the C or C++. And the basics will do over there, and I can push you up with the help of the Arduino. Okay, fine. So that's it, and that's it for today. Is there any further questions? Yeah, you may come to my desk, and I will definitely help you if I be available over there. Okay, okay, that's it. So thank you so much, and Assalamu alaikum. You may turn off the video.